Muy buenos días, bienvenidos a una nueva sesión en el Barcelona New Economy Week, el evento híbrido global más singular de Barcelona que organiza, como saben, el consorcio de la zona franca. Nosotros, como ven, seguimos en este plató de e-commerce en la estación de Francia, pero que sepan que también pueden ver otro contenido que no sea este en otros 9 platos distintos que están en lugares emblemáticos de Barcelona, como la Casa SEAT, también la antigua fábrica de Estrella Damm o el Movistar Center. Vamos ahora nosotros con un panel muy interesante en el que vamos a hablar de los desafíos de ofrecer una experiencia omnicanal personalizada a los usuarios. ¿Cuántas veces ustedes han iniciado por Internet una compra, han añadido artículos a ese carrito de compra y finalmente no lo han finalizado? Pues muchas. De hecho, la tasa de abandono de estas compras digitales es alta, es de un 69% de estas experiencias que inician, pero no acaban. Eso es porque el usuario, en cierto modo, pues necesita una experiencia mucho más completa. El reto de las empresas es grande, es muy grande. De hecho, tienen que tratar de combinar todos los canales, el físico y también el online. De hecho, se tiene que poder comprar desde todos los lugares, desde una foto de Instagram, también desde cualquier ciudad, en el centro de la ciudad, desde cualquier tienda y también desde un anuncio de Google. En fin, vamos a pasar directamente ya a este debate. Les voy a dejar con la moderadora. Ella es Marta Plana, es consultora de estrategia digital de Two Worlds Collaborative. Bienvenida, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros.
Muchísimas gracias a vosotros.
Voy a dar unos datos para que la gente te conozca un poco más. Two Worlds Collaborative Intelligence es una consultoría de seguridad internacional y asesoría de riesgos de internacionalización. Además, ella está en el consejo asesor de varias compañías. Eso es lo que hace ahora, porque si tuviéramos que hablar de toda la experiencia que tiene a sus espaldas, desde luego que estaríamos aquí bastante rato. Pero bueno, ha trabajado como abogada en los mejores despachos del mundo, ha impulsado varias startups en Silicon Valley y recientemente también en España, por lo que es toda una experta, como ven, en el sector. Les voy a dejar con ella y también con Guillermo y de forma digital con York y con Evan para que disfruten de esta conferencia y nos vemos en un rato.
Muchas gracias. Hello, York. Hello, Evan. Can you hear us well?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to have this a scintillating panel about e-commerce, and I'd like all of us to interact and let us know how we can be a better user for each of your companies. Let me start with Guillermo. Guillermo, thank you for being here. You are the Chief Customer Officer at Mango, and I would be very much interested in knowing whether that 360 degree circle that we're talking about omnichannels is happening at Mango, and what are your biggest challenges as of today?
Hello, Marta. Thank you for having me here. Yes, I mean, we're working on it. It doesn't. I think anyone has it totally finalized because this is something that never stops. But yes, we're building the 360 view of our customers because, as our presenter was saying, the customer journey has totally changed. You know, our customers are omnichannel. They get maybe interest on a garment of Mango while they're surfing on social media. They come to the store, they don't buy, they search in mango.com. So it has totally changed. It's much more complex. So we need to make sure that we are able to identify our customers in every single touch point with the brand in order to make sure that we know how he or she is interacting with us. But that's not the biggest challenge, because that's the way that we get the information. Our biggest challenge now is how do we activate that information, because our customers, they are keen on providing their information, their data, as long as we offer them some added value. And that added value, we see it as a personalization strategy. That means that our customers, they're not expecting to have the same experience between them. Some will prefer to see certain products in the mango.com. Some will prefer to see others, or while they contact us at the contact service, maybe they're expecting different level of service, or while they come to our stores. So at the end of the day, it's not only by building this 360 vision of our customers, is to be able from that to be able to offer what we call a personalized experience, because we know that that's what engages our customers.
That's very interesting, Guillermo, and that leads me to the next question for Evan, who is General Manager of Western countries at Foreo. Guillermo, Evan, was talking about data, was talking about customers, was talking about changing that experience into more personalized. Can you tell us what it's like for you to have a new trend where people are using professional methods as a home experience. Can you tell me how you've actually changed that vision into having foreo at your house with your own experiences and practices?
Sure. So, I mean, to lead on from Guillermo's point, the 360 view, it is something that is all companies are working towards. And we talk about data. And I think one of the challenges is that the silos of data within companies, whether this is something that is inherited or something that is, the previous structure that companies have certain challenges. But for us, in terms of beauty devices, one of the benefits of what we've seen in the beauty tech is that with the technology, it is set up in an environment knowing that there is the need for this data and how to use this. And obviously with the data of the customers, the idea is to make it seamless, whether they are online, going offline shopping or using the products at home, and to be able to capture the behaviors and patterns from their routines and to be able to target very, very personalized information that is needed for that moment. One of the exercises and the journeys that we'd really, really look at, if we think about ourselves, everyday selves, we see something on social media, we maybe commented on social media as a start, we talk to a friend on WhatsApp, we make a phone call, we maybe send an email, and then later on we even meet face to face to talk about it, right? So the whole idea is how do we then take that experience and deliver that, and different people have different touch points, take that experience, deliver that, and then use that to integrate it into a person's routine of beauty, routine of healthcare is really, really the challenge ahead.
Well, thank you so much. Jörg, that brings me to you, Chief Strategy Officer for Otto Group. What do you believe are the most trending international e-commerce omni-channel practices within your company?
Thanks for having me first. And I have to clarify, I'm not a member of the board, so I'm a principal for innovation and digitalization. So I'm looking on these trends for Otto. Maybe you don't know Otto in Spain. So we are one of the biggest e-commerce players in Germany with Otto, 4.5 billion revenue, and belong to the group that's 3 times higher revenue. So what we see is that you see the combination of the retail world and the e-commerce world. And on the one hand, on the other hand, the trend to platforms. So we started years ago the transformation to become a platform. And now, founded a joint venture with one of the biggest shopping center owners in Europe, the ECE, Stock Square, to get these local brick and mortar connection to our platform, because we think that the customers in future want to decide from time to time if they want to buy something online or offline, to pick up offline, to get something from a local store, but over the normal platforms they use. So we see that combination, and we invest in that area of combine that worlds to get more wholesalers on one platform, that's Otto, and more local stores on the platform also. And then to use all the channels you have to communicate with our customers and to interact with them and to be there where the customer is.
So, Jörg, would you say that you're transforming the e-commerce market into more of a platform challenge?
Yes, our heritage for years, and we have a long history. Our founder founded Otto as a small mail order business after the Second World War. So we, for years, we were a wholesaler for our own, and we started years ago to become, to get platform partners, but we were more a wholesaler. And I think 3 years ago, we started the real platform journey to be open, really, for other partners. And that, when you decide something like that, it's not only to say it, you have to transform, especially the IT backend, the shop infrastructure, the service landscape. You have to invest in payment services that the customer has one experience, and it depends not if he buys at Otto himself or a platform partner. He should be able to shop at our platform, and then there is no difference between us and other partners. And for that experience, you have to invest a lot, and it's a journey, of course.
Thank you. Guillermo, Jörg was talking about a new journey. He was telling us about competitors. Are you learning from your competitors? Is it something that you're looking into the international market? Is it more of a local market, even though it's internet and we're talking about a digital trend? Can you explain us what you're looking into?
Well, first thing we should define is what we call competitors. I think that the first thinking here is we don't only look at our competitors in terms of what traditionally has been considered as competitors from our industry or in fashion or even retail in general, but at least the people that work with me, we look at other industries that they are more mature in terms of customer centricity, because in fashion we have always had a lot of focus in product, because we know that what makes us different from the others.
So that our audience understands, you're saying that you don't need to look into retail only, you can look into airlines, or you can look into supermarkets.
Airlines or banking. We see that those are sectors that they're doing very, very well in terms of customers, because maybe their products don't differentiate as much as fashion does. So we want to be the best, and being the best doesn't mean that we do not only look at the fashion of industry, but we look worldwide and all industries.
And in Spain, are we ahead of a lot of the innovation that's happening worldwide? Would you say that we are already transforming the new economy beyond other countries?
I don't know beyond other countries, but I'm sure that in Spain we're doing pretty well. We have several meetings with international technology, big players at Mango. We talk to them and we see that we don't have many things to envy from other competitors in other countries. So I think we're doing the right job.
Well, thank you. That needs to be a headline, definitely. So, Evan, you're the general manager at Western countries for Foreo. Foreo has been very big recently in Spain as well. What is your benchmark in terms of competitors when it comes to those Western countries? Where would you say Spain is now located and being translated into your own market?
Sure. So Foreo actually is a relatively young company for the amount that we have accomplished in just a short 8 years. So when we talk about competitors, I think really at the core of Foreo is about innovation. And when we first launched with our hero product, which was the Luna, there wasn't really any competitor in the sense of what was out in the market, was really taking what had existed, facial cleansing product, taking it and applying technology and taking it to the next level, right? So in that sense, I don't really see that we have competitors, but if we talk about functional purposes, yes, there are competitors. In Spain, I would say that we are the leaders and the pioneers in techno beauty. So techno beauty is a relatively new category out there, where we take technology and we apply it to not only the products itself, into the research, into the research development, into the way we communicate with our consumers, for example, from going from core to crowd, listening, getting the feedback, then adapting our product, and to the methodologies of how we work to launching a product. So in that sense, I would benchmark that in Spain, one of the success factors would really be looking at us as and known as the leaders and the forerunners of the beauty tech category, and being known in the sector for that, and being known outside the sector as an innovative company. And like what we always say is that we are not a beauty tech company that is innovative. We are an innovative company that just happens to be in the beauty tech sector.
Well, thank you. That needs to be ahead as well, a headline to what Barcelona is representing this week. So, Jörg, as strategy and innovation head at Otto Group, could you explain us the IoT commerce and the activities that you're launching recently, and how, again, you can translate this into other countries like ours, into the Barcelona New Economy Week?
Yeah, of course. So we started, I think, 3 years ago to go in that IoT business. So what I said before is you have to be on all channels. Customers are, and one new channel I think we see is the smart home business. So your home is more and more connected, and you can interact with that products with your devices at home, and yeah, the devices monitor what they use and what they have to replenish, like tubs for your dishwasher. And it's not so good as a customer if you run out of dishwasher tubs and your dishwasher is full and maybe it's weekend, the shops are closed and you had a party, and so you get big trouble. So because you have to wash the dishes with your hand, and I think nobody's interested with that. So we saw that there is the connected devices in your household can be one new channel where customers want to shop, to replenish things. To be honest, it's more that things, not to shop, to replenish things, usables, accessories.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but that's very interesting. You're talking about connection. Is that the Internet of Things that we've been seeing recently? Could you tell us a little bit more of how Otto develops that Internet of Things ecosystem?
Yeah, of course. So that's the IoT part. IoT is the whole thing with connected industry, connected cars, and everything. So if you talk about more specific, it's consumer IoT, and to be very honest, it's in our part, it's smart home. So your connected household appliances, and we see very big players there, like BSH Group, for example, or Samsung. They connect their devices, and we saw that as one channel to interact with the customers. So we founded Otto Ready. So that's a service for replenish things through the IoT, and work together with companies like BSH Group, that the customers are able to set up things in the application. You control your household appliances. You can set up an automatic replenish of the usables the product uses. And we started that service, but it was a learning session. And to be honest, it's on ice at the moment because we see big challenges in that field. We can talk about that later if you want, but to say one word to that, I think anyway, it's very, very relevant that you look what new channels appear on the market or as an opportunity, and to test really that channels, if they work, how they work, and if they are a good opportunity for new business, or to secure your old business, maybe.
Well, thank you. It kind of like sounds like you're linking everything. Like we could link a Foreo at home with Mango clothing, and then Otto as well, and we wouldn't need to leave the house. So that brings me to a mass question. I need to ask this. How you treat that data? You have tons of data, Guillermo. You know what people like. You know what they're buying. You know their trends, and you know where they're located. So that data, how is that being used to monetize your company, and how you do it as Chief Customer Officer?
It's a matter of personalization. Means that you need to do things one-to-one somehow. So the way that we do it is that data that we have, then we have our intelligence, our data systems, and of course the talent that is so important nowadays, in order to see in each of the touch points how can we personalize. And that may be in many different ways. It may be on providing a different level of service depending on the customer that is reaching you through the contact center, or by showing different garments once they land in mango.com, because there are so many SKUs that if you know that, let's say, Marta doesn't like skirts, why should she go to the skirts, or why should she see? So how can we recommend or make a personalized experience while they're exploring in mango.com? And why should you receive all the communications that Mango is sending through email to you if maybe you're not interested in jeans somehow? So it's not one thing. It's a matter of doing several little things that would make somehow your communication plan at the end of the year. And I mean for communication, emails plus experience while you shop plus experience while you come to the stores, which is different yours to any other customer.
So it's behavioral content and artificial intelligence as well that it's being used.
Exactly.
And it's very interesting because Mango is used to be a clothing store. Now we can buy online. So you've definitely transformed into that digital world that others were already born into.
Yeah.
So you came from the retail industry, the more traditional industry, and now this Barcelona Economy Week is really the main purposes of companies like yours as well. So I'd like to ask Evan, we were talking about the retail companies that were traditional and have come into the internet digitalization transformation, especially and regardless of COVID, which was an unfortunate situation, but companies like Mango had to transform. Can you tell us that data that you're being used, and of course the new trend of having that tech beauty at home? You were already born being sold on the internet?
Sure.
You were already,
Sure.
what was your thinking?
No, absolutely. So when we talk about Mango, I would say, Foreo is probably the contrary, right? So sort of born native of digital, and depending on how every market has developed. So for example, in Spain, we are omnichannel, we have our point of sales, but in most markets, Foreo entered was first digital, right? So, and to the point that it was set up knowing that there's the importance of the data, and additionally with the devices. So it's a very different, fashion and the beauty devices are very different. So we do have that advantage in that sense. So for us, obviously, like what Guillermo said, data is then used it's then organized, the data then is then analyzed, and then used to tell the story and to be able to meet the consumer, meet the customer before they even realize that is the story, right? So going further then, okay, hey Marta, this is your routine. Now this morning we see that you haven't cleaned your face in 3 days. How about trying this? So going beyond that and using that data and integration of technology that allows us, and platforms that allows us to really then, through, for example, diagnostic of your skin, and really looking at, oh, hey, Marta, actually, in the mornings, you have oily skin in certain zones and drier skin in the afternoon in other areas, and using this intelligence to then come up with an extremely personalized routine that is also dependent not only on your biological aspects, but also depending how much coffee you drink in the morning and what food you eat in the afternoon, to really be able to make it a hyper-personalization where every single person who is a user has a completely different set of solutions.
Isn't that scary? You're going to know how much coffee we drink in the morning. You're going to make our life easier. But at the same time, you're going to have so many data and methods of what it is our routine like on an everyday basis. So you are definitely changing the way beauty is understood, but the way our customers understand each other as well, according to nutrition and food tech and beauty tech. And that's very, very interesting because Otto, I need you to tell us like the new thing of what our market is going to be like in the next few months. So how do you think we're going to be transforming this sector? You're talking about the Internet of Things. We've already known about Internet of Things. We're making now a real Internet of Things ecosystem. We're talking about the Barcelona new economy, but all of that seems to be very much present. What's the next thing at Otto?
I think the next thing on Otto, I can't really say, because especially after COVID, so we are at Otto only German based, and we are not the most digital company, to be honest, in Europe or worldwide. But that was a very big booster. The COVID time was a very big booster for digitalization and especially shift to e-commerce. And I think we see so much things running. So I don't have one the possibility to look really in future, but we see more and more digital services are coming. Yesterday we had our first live shopping session. I think that is something, that trend comes from Asia to Europe, and I don't know if it's in Spain already, but I think it will be big in Spain, especially for beauty. I think we used that yesterday for presenting home and living accessories and furnitures. So that is one big trend of a new way of presenting. I call it teleshopping 2.0, so the next level of teleshopping, because in that live commerce, you have that live stream, but you can chat with the company, you can buy direct, you can click on things presented in the stream, and then you see more details and can put them direct to basket. On the other hand, we see a lot of things moving in the conversational commerce. To clarify that is that you can interact with companies through messaging like WhatsApp or your personal in-app messenger if you have a company app, or a live chat on the website. We see things like that, and I think that channel will be a very huge channel in future. Not only for customer service, also for buying things, for giving advance to customers. You have to look in that field, and I think that channel will become very relevant. With that, maybe voice commerce also, because that digital assistants and bot systems that are running behind this chat or this conversation, they can be used on voice assistants like smart speakers also. So very interesting field. And there are many things that are coming and with new hardware and new services in the next years, and you have to look really deep in that and to see where are possibilities to get good business.
Thank you, Jörg. You look pretty digital to me, so I think you're probably more ahead than you think, even though you're only in Germany, and that's why we need to look into these new digital trends, especially with the Internet of Things, which I'm a big fan. Guillermo, you're probably the least digital, I would say, because you started as a traditional retail company. It's been very brave to transform the company, internationally speaking, to probably monetize it accordingly to customers' needs, payment methods. So would you say that all the transition has been easy within regulation framework, with like legal frameworks within the company itself, or is it a process that is kind of slower than we would like?
First, probably less than Foreo, but I think Mango is very digital.
Okay.
Honestly, because it was one of the first fashion retailers to start selling online. That was 2000, much earlier than many others. So that has given us a competitive advantage at this moment of COVID.
Very good.
It's already 2019, 24% of our sales were already online. That was huge at the moment. But less, and still less than what we would like. But I mean, we have hundreds of technology people in-house, more than any.
No, and let me clarify, you have a fantastic app, which I use personally myself, and you have everything recorded there, all your preferences, but I meant that your sector.
Yeah, we come from
retail.
Right? That's the challenge.
Yes.
If it has been, from a legal point of view, I'm not the right person to answer you. I mean, I don't think I should be answering that question.
Okay, let me transform, because maybe I've used terms. The transition in 2000, from being a retail company and jumping into the digital world, you being Chief Customer Officer, was something that was very natural and that needed to be done?
No,
thank you.
At all.
Not
in 2000.
Very good. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about that.
That was really innovative. I mean, that was not in 2000 at Mango, because I was finalizing my studies at the moment. So
you want to make a point that you're very young?
I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm not saying I'm young. I'm not that old. But at 2000, it was something very, I mean, the sales in 2000 were irrelevant, and probably in 2001 too. But I think it's not a matter of starting. For me, honestly, it provides a vision of how Mango is. It's an innovative company. It has no fear on exploring new alternatives. Now it's very obvious, but in 2000, we started selling online because we saw in some countries they were telling us, we cannot find any Mango stores, so someone at Mango, who is still the responsible.
But you were ahead very much of the market, because there are still companies within the e-commerce sector that are not selling itself because they're not on the internet, and that seems amazing, but it really happens. So.
But I understand. I mean, now it's more obvious, but would any CEO of this world not be able to open a store which is worldwide 24/7 without any, let's say, rent in a like, it's like the biggest flagship you can ever have.
Very
so
good.
I think that now it's very obvious, but at the moment it was something that could be.
It was a challenge.
A challenge. It could be working, could be not working, but we would never take that as a fail. I mean, you need to try. But at that moment, that was a good decision, and that has given us this 20 years of experience, which is.
Would you say then the internet selling is better than the?
You mean this?
Yes.
No, at all. Actually, our vision is not about. So when we talk about if Mango is selling 20 to 40% of our sales online, honestly, the figure is not what we are proud of, honestly, because we believe that it's not a matter of what channel is, because someone may be coming to your store every day offline and do the purchase online. So is that an online sale, or is it like an omnichannel? Or so we believe that in the future it will be more about trying to do a P&L per customer instead of channel.
Wow.
Well, that's the vision. That's where we need to
P&L per
finalize.
customer. That's amazing. So you're saying omni-channel into P&L customer, and that's the e-commerce that we're heading. I don't like to use the word transformation because I think we're already transformed. I think we're already on the internet area, and that's the way it needs to be. It's like banking and fintech. I don't like to make those differences, but now that you've pointed out the P&L individual customer per customer, Foreo, Evan, what's Foreo like? Are they going to do that P&L customer one-to-one, or are they already doing it?
I mean, the fact that, when we look at omnichannel, it is, the definition is the unified experience between digital and the physical world, right? And understanding that experience, the integrated part, adds more value than the sum of all the different parts, right? It's greater than that. So absolutely to the point that it becomes the purpose of offline has changed, right, from before, and also depending from country to country, it is different. Okay, so culturally, it is also different consumer behaviors. So culturally speaking, there's different behaviors. What is available to the consumer is also very different. So the purpose of a offline point of sale, at least for us, is really going in the direction where it is the engagement center. It is a place where we can deliver the experience. They could come, they can touch, they talk with us, but also all that aspect of interaction that we have offline will allow them, if their consumer behavior is to buy online, then they buy online. So to Guillermo's point, it is looking at the profile of consumers as an entire whole, and looking at that is greater than the different revenue streams, if you like. So absolutely agree. That's the direction, and there has to be.
Thank you. So, Guillermo, I'm going to go back to you and then to Jörg, because I want a little bit of a surprise kind of, not always following like the classroom type of thing. And please feel free, I didn't say that at the beginning, to interrupt. I want this to be more of like one-channel conversation.
Omnichannel.
Exactly, omnichannel. So, Guillermo, I need to ask, you're talking the P&L customer one-to-one. Have you ever encountered customers being afraid of being with their data, being customized, using their data, using the app? You said you don't look at the numbers, but at the end of the day, you're a referral, internationally speaking. You're the most international company. You sell everywhere, correct me if otherwise, but have you experienced that with that data and customers itself?
Not as far as I know, honestly. somehow it's like when we used to go to our neighborhood store that they knew our parents, they knew ourselves, they knew when it was our birthday, what we like, what we don't like. If we had a wedding 3 months ago and we bought this jacket, remember that experience, that they knew your name and that they knew your name of your brother? At the end of the day, we're talking about the same. It's like providing this, I mean, the customer, when we used to go to this neighbor store, we didn't have any problem to say that we were 25 years old, that our birthday was on April or whatever, because we knew that from that information, probably the staff would be able to personalize the experience and offer us what we really are interested in.
And that's what
that's
you're
the
doing.
same, but at scale and in all the touch points. So as I said, the customers will be keen on providing data as long as we are able to offer that personalized experience that we used to have in the neighborhood stores worldwide in all touch points.
When they made the presentation of this panel, they said that a lot of people at e-commerce did not finalize its experience online. Is that something that happens at Mango?
I think it happens everywhere, but I think they were saying 61 or 69, 31.
Yes.
It depends on how you look at it. I would say there's a 39% of success.
That's
mean,
39.
I don't know, if it was,
Okay.
if it was 61,
Wow.
I would say it's the opposite.
Okay.
But it happens also in the physical stores. Not everyone,
Yes.
unfortunately, that comes to
Buy
if you
something.
Of course, if you go to the supermarket, very few people would leave.
Sí.
But we have an experiential product that doesn't mean it has also this, this moment of interest to see what's happening in fashion. So it doesn't mean that everyone who comes to stores will go out with a bag, because they're not even thinking of buying. They're not considering.
Understood.
It's just
Of course,
having
they're
a look.
just like looking, and you can look online as well. So, Jörg, I need to ask you something. You said that you were only Germany-based, but this is an international market. Are you planning a strategy to be in other countries online, of course? Why are you not there yet? And what needs to be taken for you to make that step?
As Otto, we are only in German, but I think Otto Group has companies like Crate & Barrel. It's a home and living store, in a huge company in the USA. We have Otto in the Netherlands also. So we as Otto, maybe we scale sometimes, especially maybe on German-speaking market, but there are no plans I can refer to. The thing is that as a platform, if you get the challenge with all the logistic things and tech things, and maybe we become more and more in European market, there is an opportunity for us as a German-based platform to sell cross-border. But at the moment, we have to focus on the transformation to being a wholesaler with a few partners to become a real platform, to scale the article positions, to get more offer to our customers, that they can have a better choice. So that's our main challenge at the moment. We have companies, fashion company like About You in the Otto Group, that scales massively to whole Europe. So it depends on the company inside the Otto Group where you see international business or not. So we have our big challenge at the moment to become a new company inside Germany, to transfer, and then maybe that's the goal in the next decade or next years. Depends on how fast we get that transformation to become a platform.
Thank you. Evan, I want to ask you, what is, for you, what does it represent, Barcelona new economy? There are different sides into it. We've seen real estate, this is e-commerce, the challenge to offer that omni-channel and personal experience. What does it represent for you to have a city like Barcelona speaking about this new economy that includes young company as well?
I mean, for me, it is an absolute honor, firstly, to be a part of it, just because, for what it represents, it's really talking about the future, right? Really discussing issues now that's going to change the way we do everything in our lives with the application, whether it is technology, whether it's platform, whether it's communication. It is, whether we like it or not, it is in our everyday lives. So to have this type of platform and to be able to have this type of discourse is how we can really share and really make an impact to, whether it's brands, retailers, etc., whatever it is, to really shape the future and consciously shape the future in the direction that we want. So we can make the difference.
Thank you. And for you, Guillermo, what does it represent to have a city holding into all that new economy that we're now talking about that represents the e-commerce, which is internationally speaking, very much translated into all different countries?
It's very thrilling and it's an honor because we are from here. It's not only that we like Barcelona, it's that Mango was born in Barcelona. So it's, let's say, double way matter of celebration for us. And I agree with what Yvonne was saying. We're not talking about what's happening. We're talking about shaping the future. And as she was saying as well, this is what's going to happen whether you like it or not. So we need to...
So I think we need to hold a lot of entrepreneurs, but there's a lot of transformation that it's not about the future. I think it's present. I think we can agree on that. It's about the new economy and the new frameworks that will help us to be a referral in terms of countries and cities, but especially within your companies. Jorn, you want to add anything else about this new transformation and this week that we're holding in terms of digitalization?
Yeah, it's exciting to be here, and it would be more exciting to be present there in Barcelona. I love that city. I've been there before the pandemic. I think our last journey, and it's a great city. But it's an honor to be there, and it's very exciting to speak on that international conference. And it's very a good decision that you have international speakers there, because time is running so fast, and all the markets, all the trends, they appear globally and come to your country, to Spain or to Germany or our countries very fast. And you have to look every time on the whole world and see chances and risks for your business, and then start transformation if it's necessary. So it's very useful to look international and to have that international discussions, to learn from each other and be ahead of our business and being ahead in good customer experience. And yeah, I think that is the biggest success factor in future. And
well,
like you said, present.
Well, yes, definitely. I think we're a universal world where we interact with one another. It's not about a new digital economy. It's what economy represents being digital as well. And I very much like that we were able to interact with Germany and with you, Ivan, as Foreo, northern countries, and you, Guillermo, being in Barcelona, of course. It's been fantastic and more than a challenge to all of us. So thank you to you all.
Thank you very much for being here with us. We would love to stay with you so much longer, but we are running out of time. Gracias a ti también, Guillermo, y a ti, Marta. Yo tengo una pregunta para Guillermo. Hemos hablado de que los clientes cada vez son más exigentes, que cada vez quieren más rápido las cosas. Ayer hablábamos también en una conferencia precisamente que ahora ya nos cuesta esperar más de 3-4 días para recibir un producto en casa. ¿Qué pasa, te querría preguntar, en las zonas rurales, esas zonas que aún no tienen ese acceso? No sé si Mango tiene algún tipo de estrategia para llegar a esos rincones.
No hay más demora en esta. Si estamos hablando del territorio español, no, al final la entrega es prácticamente, no es una cuestión nuestra, es una cuestión de si el sistema logístico y las empresas de transporte llegan a estos lugares, y igual hay alguna diferencia en horas, pero yo no diría ni que fuera cuestión de días, para nada.
Muy bien, vamos a intentar recapitular un poco todo esto que hemos hablado aquí en unos breves puntos. Primero de todo, el más importante, que también precisamente comentaba Guillermo, la necesidad de tener una visión 360 y también una estrategia de personalización de cada cliente y analizar, por lo tanto, todos los datos que llegan a las empresas, porque cada cliente, como decíamos ahora, es único, se evoluciona también de forma distinta, por lo tanto hay que analizar uno a uno. En segundo lugar, la importancia para un negocio no solo de fijarse, también lo comentaba Guillermo, en el propio sector en el que actúa, sino también en toda la industria para tratar de aprender también y rascar ahí y evolucionar poco a poco. En tercer lugar, una oportunidad del Internet de las cosas. Lo comentaban también nuestros ponentes online, ¿no? A través de pues por ejemplo, los electrodomésticos que tenemos en casa, recibir información y que el usuario nos envíe pues también sus necesidades. Un dato, Marta, comentabas antes que hay miedo, ¿no?, en cierto modo, a que tengan tanta información nuestra. Leía el otro día que un 78% de los consumidores está dispuesto a permitir que le roben, en cierto modo, información si así recibe una experiencia personalizada. Así que, en cierto modo, nos gusta eso de compartir nuestra información. En cualquier caso, nos tenemos que marchar. Vamos a dar las gracias antes a todos nuestros sponsors globales, al Ministerio de Transportes, también al Ayuntamiento de Barcelona, a Servihabitat, el servicer líder en gestión de activos financieros e inmobiliarios, y a Akbar, la empresa de gestión del ciclo integral del agua, con más de 150 años de historia. Nosotros, como decimos, nos vamos, pero volvemos en 10 minutos con otro panel muy interesante. Les pedimos que se queden porque seguro que les va a interesar y se van a sentir muy identificados. Vamos a hablar de por qué el storytelling y la co-creación hacen que los negocios sean más exitosos. Nos vemos. Hasta ahora.